student. You have never questioned the white man on what he gave you as a religion. It's time that you question him. It's easy to question Elijah Muhammad or question me, but I'm not the person that gave you the religion. I'm not your slave master. Why didn't you ask your slave master who punished you for being black? What kind of religion is this, Mr. Slave Master, that you are offering me? You never asked him no question like that. He just made you into what he wanted you to be. If your slave master was a Protestant, okay, then you were a Protestant. But you couldn't worship with him. Your church was in the field somewhere. And he is the one that made you a preacher. And you had to preach what pleased him. That's pretty rough stuff. No wonder you're still in bad shape. Because if you really knew Jesus, just the true knowledge of Jesus would free you and start you on the road to that which Jesus became. You have the right name, all right enough, and you have fallen in love with the man based on the beauty of the man that you read in the scriptures. But the enemy took the name and the man and painted him white and gave him to you. And everywhere that he gave you his image, the darker people that believe are suffering and are absolutely under the tutelage and mastery of the European white man. You can't deny that. And right now, as a Christian, you are not equal to your European white Christian brother. In fact, right now, you are trying to get your rights from your so-called white Christian brother. How could he be your brother and deny you what God intends for every human being, which is freedom, justice, and equality? So the coming of God, the coming of the Mahdi, the coming of the Messiah, whom Allah would make a messenger to the children of Israel, that's a great event. And whether you want to believe it or not, this Bible, from one cover to the other, is all talking about you. And when you understand that you are the major people of the book, when you read about Israel going into bondage, who do you think that is? Everywhere you read of a slave and a slave master in the past, you're reading a prophetic picture of yourself and your relationship to the government of America and the white people of the world. Now, some would like to call this hate teaching. We don't have any time for that. But if the truth makes you hate somebody, then your hatred is justified. Isn't that true? Now, don't tell me it's wrong to hate. Hate destroys the hater as much as the hated. That's more deceit. God hates the wicked. His hatred of the wicked don't destroy God. So the coming of God is to a specific people, to accomplish a specific purpose. Respite me till the day when they are raised. You have been taught all your life that in the day of judgment, a trumpet would be blown, and the dead would rise from their graves. What kind of trumpet could be blown to wake up the people that are in the cemetery today, brother? I want you to use your common, natural sense. There was some troops on a troop ship, and they went out to sea, and a submarine blasted the ship with the troops on it, and the troops fell in the sea and died. Along came some small fish that began feeding on the troops that were on the ship that got blasted by the submarine. Then some big fish came along and ate the small fish that ate the troops that was on the troop ship that got blasted by the submarine. And the deep sea fishermen went out in the ocean and caught him some of those big fish that ate the little fish, that ate the troops that was on the ship that got blasted by the submarine. And then you came along and bought a pound or two of the big fish that ate the little fish, that ate the troops that was on the ship that got blasted by the submarine. Now look, man, tell me where them troops coming from on the resurrection day? They're coming out of you? They're coming out of the fish? They're coming out of the water? Hell no. Your body came from the earth, and it's only a matter of time before you return to the earth. The resurrection of the dead is not talking about people in physical cemeteries. Get that out of your head. Nobody that ever died have ever come back and told you how sweet it was on the other side. And if it really was that sweet, why are you crying so much? Mama gone to a better place. Let me hurry up and go there too. You're going to try to stay here as long as you can, because it was a long time before you got here, and when you go, it'll be a hell of a long time, and we'll never see you again. Unless you can leave something behind you. Well, wait a minute, Farrakhan. The Holy Quran talks about the hereafter. Yes, it does. Shall we be raised again to life when we have become bones? Holy Quran said yes. The question you got to ask is, what does it mean? You say it means exactly what it says. Prove it. You can't prove it. I can prove that those that died don't come back. You prove that they do. That's your belief. You don't have any knowledge of it. Here the enemy has deceived you, made you put your hope in a heaven in the sky, while he worked you to death building a heaven for himself on the earth. No, brother, if you don't get your heaven right here now, you can forget it somewhere else. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us reality.